Hey, are you feeling a little stuck? Feeling like maybe you're spinning your wheels? Like you're trapped? Like you're on a treadmill that you can't get off of? Like maybe you have no idea what on earth you're actually supposed to be doing and everything you've done so far is really not working for you. Having that kind of feeling? Yeah, we all have those feelings. So, today, under this amazing, huge, astronomically difficult, challenging eclipse, January 27th, 26th. I'm the only astrologer I know who's really bad with dates. We're going to go over a couple of things, and we're going to do some basic astrology 101, and we're going to do some metaphysical exercises to help get us out of this hole, that we may have found ourselves floundering in for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of decades, however long it's been for you. All right. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is that sometimes when it comes to feeling stuck, a lot of this has to do with what our expectations are for ourselves and our lives. And often if we confuse what's out there with what is really important as far as our development, it can get very discouraging. It can absolutely look like we're not getting anywhere because we're not doing what other people are supposed to be doing at this point in their lives, or with this education, or with whatever it is that you have that you're supposed to achieve a certain mile marker with. Remember, all of those things out there do not define you. It's the process of getting there that matters. Now, let's revisit this astrologically. Remember at the beginning of this year, we talked about Saturn going into Capricorn and how Saturn in Capricorn was not going to be fun. Saturn in Capricorn was absolutely going to bring the heavy down. And that meant that we had to get really, really organized and really, really strict with ourselves and very disciplined. And we had to have a plan, and we had to have a long range image of how we're going to get there. Because you can't just slapdash put things together and kind of sort of, excuse my language, half-ass it as we're getting through this. The only way to survive this Saturn and Capricorn transit with Uranus and Taurus now is by having a long-term plan, and also being more efficient with our resources, being more resourceful. And in order to be more resourceful, one of the things that we have to understand is that ultimately the thing that we're working with, it's not about the thing, it's about how efficient and practical is this, how many different ways can I use this, and even though it's supposed to be this, what else can I use this for? How can I make this do double duty? Everything in your life is going to be like that. What skills, what skill sets, what knowledge bases, what abilities, what resources in terms of time, energy, connections, information, stuff that you're not using anymore. Like, what do you have that can now be repurposed, recycled, and given a new, fresh meaning and value by being used in a different way than it was originally intended, and now may have exhausted or expired from its shelf life? There's no such thing as a wasted skill. There's no such thing as a wasted knowledge. And there's absolutely nothing you have that can't be repurposed and recycled into something else. And I'll give you a classic example. All those t-shirts, and I want you guys to look this up. All those t-shirts that you have that you typically just throw away because they're rags, or you can't wear them anymore, like they're full of holes and no good and all that sort of stuff. Those t-shirts can be repurposed and turned into a rug. You can tear those t-shirts into strips, and without any sewing skills at all, just by knotting the strips, you can turn it into an amazing little throw rug, or a large throw rug, just from t-shirts you were going to throw away anyway, right? Things like this, things that have outlived their original purpose or have expired their original shelf life for the intention that they were supposed to serve, are not invaluable. They still have value, but it's up to you to discover your inner genius and figure out how to repurpose this. How can I use this and give it a second life doing something else even more ingenious than its original design? Because Saturn in Capricorn and Uranus and Taurus forces us to discover, to dig in and find our inner genius. Every single one of you has a spark of genius in you, and it's only through necessity are you going to find it. Because when things are easy, nobody has to be innovative. Nobody has to find genius solutions to things. Nobody has to think outside the box. There's absolutely no reason to be creative in your thinking and your problem solving when things are easy. So right now is a time and a challenge for everybody to discover their inner genius. So we're starting, now that Uranus is in Taurus, we're starting to slide into it. And some of us, you may be feeling it, especially with this eclipse right now, just like, So there's that. The next thing that I want to talk about is the vision boards. And I'm sure you guys have heard of this, where you take basically a piece of board or cardboard and you tape or glue images of things that symbolize things that you want to attract or bring into your life, right? So it's kind of like an open diary in pictures, okay? Now, some of you may have done vision boards before, and it may not necessarily have worked out the way you expected it to, and that's okay. The thing to remember is that just like we change and our lives can change unexpectedly and head in completely different courses than we expected, our vision boards are allowed to change too. So if your vision board has been done previously and it's not working out the way you want it to, either you're not giving it enough time or your vision is not in sync with who you are. Like you're wanting to wear a pair of shoes that are not a good fit for you. Okay? So with that said, if you have an old vision board, it's not a bad idea to take it out and we're going to repurpose it. We're going to take off all the stuff that we haven't accomplished and we're really going to ask ourselves, is it really that important to me? Like, is this, and if it is, what is it that's important to me about it? And is there a different way I can get this thing that this image symbolizes in a different way? So we can use different goalposts to determine what we're wanting and how to bring it to ourselves. We don't have to hang on to old images. This is the most important thing you're ever going to know about life and the most important reminder people who love you can give you. You don't have to hang on to the past. If it didn't work, it's okay. It's probably not a part of your authentic expression. And we can let that go. We don't have to hang on to it. You're different than that. You're better than that. You're bigger than that. Okay, but ultimately, what's authentic for you, if you're not pulling it into yourself right now, it's because it's not serving the purpose of helping you become more authentic. So it's okay to let that stuff go. And the sooner you can let it go and come to terms with it and get to a place of peace with it, the easier it is to turn all of that energy and resources into discovering your inner genius. Okay, so there's that. If you've never done a vision board before, this is going to be the best exercise you've ever experienced in your life. And we're going to go into the mechanics of it in a minute. It's very simple, and I enjoy it a lot. But before we get there, now I just kind of want to jump, because we're kind of all over the place, right? I want to jump into this business about authenticity. So the other thing to remember is that ultimately everything is about being an authentic expression of ourselves, right? It doesn't matter if you have, and people who have these things will tell you, it doesn't matter if you've got tons of money and fame and power and influence and popularity. It doesn't matter if you never feel true to yourself, if you never feel like people really know you or love you for who you really are, all of you, not just this one-sided brand image, right? And the thing that you crave, no matter how much material success you have, the thing that you crave is the ability to be authentic in your life and to have people who enjoy you when you're authentic, when you are being your whole true self. These are the intrinsic things that drive the train, that make us happy. And ultimately our pursuit of these big things, these goalposts in life, you know, the big job, the big house, the fancy car, the high status job, all this sort of stuff, we pursue those things because we want an opportunity to be more of who we think we are. But the reality is you're always who you are at any given time if you give yourself permission. These outside stuff doesn't mean anything, and it won't make you any more authentic. So here's the thing, right? Look at your astrology chart. This is like the easiest, most fundamental astrology you're ever going to learn right now. Okay? Look at your astrology chart. Where is your sun? All right? So the house and the sign that your sun is in is going to tell you everything about your authentic nature and what you need to fuel your fire, your internal fire, your kundalini fire, and to keep you going and moving forward in life in the right direction, and also to make you more magnetic to bring these things to you. Your sun, just like the sun in our solar system, it's the center of everything. It is the center of the gravitational pull. So when the sun is healthy and it's strong and it's dynamic, it has gravitational pull. It pulls things to it. When your sun is healthy and strong and dynamic, it has gravitational pull and it pulls things to it. When your sun is not healthy, your going to have a weak gravitational pull, so it's going to be very difficult for you to manifest things or pull them in. And worse, the things that kind of get caught in your orbit are going to be the things that are attracted to a weak gravitational pull on the planet, as opposed to, you know, bigger, better, stronger things that need more fuel to work from, that your sun, if it's weak, you know, because it's not being fed, can't give it. So if you have the sun in Aries, okay, just going by the signs, so let's do it by elements, because I don't have a lot of time in this video. If you have the sun in fire signs, the most important thing in this life for your sun, for your solar system, for your universe to fire and pop, okay, and to refuel and recharge itself, is you have to feel like you're participating in life. There has to be a constant stream of not inspiration, but literally contact with the world. You need the stimulus of the outside world as much as the world needs you present and shining and being your fiery, passionate, fun self. So playing, okay, being creative, playing, enjoying, just being in your body, being alive, you know, showing people what it feels like just to relax and play with that divine spark, right? That is what you need to keep you going, to keep that train rolling. So if you're not holding experiences in your life that support that, if you're not creating experiences around you that feed that, you're going to find that you feel depressed, you feel pissed off, you're irritable, people don't like you, you don't like people, you know what I mean? It's hard for you to get out of bed, you don't take as much care for your appearance, you know, cranky, miserable, like, you know, like the old guy who's like shut in his house and never leaves and complains about the kids outside, when really what he needs is to go outside and play with those kids. Okay, so that's fire. If you have an earth sun, right, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, I love Taurus, sorry. If you have an earth sign, then the things that creates feelings of stability that allow you to really feel like you're building something in your life, these are the things that you need to support and regenerate and recharge your authentic self, because the earth element is a nurturing building element, is the foundation, the rock on which everything else stands. Without it, we've got literally nothing solid underneath our feet to build upward with, or down, or sideways. So for earth element suns, you need to have things in your life that contribute to your sense of power in terms of being able to build solid structures around you or underneath you to support your goals. Okay, so these are things to think about. So an earth sign is never going to be happy, you know, in situations where the rules are constantly changing and they never know what they're doing from one week to the next, and you know, they've got money coming in and going out as fast as it's happening. So just as an example, for those of you who are cute like that and you're thinking about becoming a stripper, no. And if you're an earth sign sun, this is a bad idea, because as much as you're going to enjoy all of that cash, because earth signs love cash, right? And they love being very physical. The problem is, in that type of industry, the money goes out as fast as it's coming in. It's very hard to hang on to money when you're in that type of profession. So that's going to make you crazy, and you're more likely to end up with all sorts of the negative sides of that industry than like an air sign would, or a fire sign, right? So things like this. So look for the things that feed and sustain the element of your sun, right? If you have a water sign, you need constant, fresh rivers of inspiration and support, emotional connection. So water signs need their time out from the rest of the world because they need to commune, you know, with the divine. So artistic things, musical things, things that allow you to get into the spiritual, quiet places of yourself, where you can touch base with your inner self in solitude. These are the things that you need to recharge your battery. So if you're not giving yourself a space where you can express your sensitive, watery nature, you're going to find yourself getting very depleted and very dry, and it's going to be very, very hard for you to think literally anything other than one foot in front of the other, because that's not your thing. And if you don't give yourself time and environment to feed the stream from the ocean, as it were, like you're going to gradually drown in quicksand. You're going to suffocate, and you're going to feel it. All right. And that leaves us to, so we've done earth, fire, water, air. Air signs. If you're an air sign, the thing that drives your train has everything to do with ideas and stimulation and connecting mentally with the world and seeing what's out there and being curious. Okay, so For air sign signs, you must create environments, or you must create things in your life that support your need for constant investigation and curiosity and stimulation and interaction with the world around you. You need voices and people. You need other minds to touch base with. You need things, puzzles to explore and take apart. You need this constantly involved in something productive, because if you don't, then you become a gossip and a busybody and a trickster, somebody who's constantly bending the truth just to see what you can get away with. The pot stirrer, the one who's constantly instigating crap with other people. You will not be someone anybody will want spending time around once they realize what your game is. Because no, like, life is complicated enough. Like, nobody wants that. Okay, so find someplace healthy that feeds this air sign need to be stimulated by the ideas and minds of people around you, and feeds that curiosity and that ability to be curious about things, and you'll find that everything works better. So find your sun sign, find the element, and then kind of look at the context of the element, and look at your life. What in your life is feeding that element quality? And then, of course, you would get down to the actual sign itself and the house position it's in, which we can't do in this video because it's a lot. If you're interested, you can always send me a note, and we'll set up a special pricing just for examining that, looking at your sun, the element, and house, and how to sustain and feed your authentic self. And we can do that as an individual chart service for super cheap compared to what a full chart service is. I'm sorry, itch. And we can kind of get you rolling on that ball. So now here, under this eclipse, this is what I want to give you. So right now is a great time to cut the nonsense. So literally this eclipse is, and all eclipses, but especially this one, this is the who are you trying to kid with this eclipse, right? Are you kidding yourself, really? So many of us may be feeling like, oh, Jesus God, like really kind of taking the hard look at ourselves, saying, this is not working, this is not working, this has not been working for a long time, but Jesus, like, how much more can I keep this up? Like, who am I kidding with this? That's the eclipse. So with that said, we're going to do a vision board. So while you're sorting out where you've been at, you should be asking yourself the question, who am I kidding with this? And making the appropriate purging, and getting stuff out, and redesigning your plans and re-examining your strategies moving forward. Because remember, kids, Saturn in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, organized, efficient, lean, repurposing, redoing, reusing, recycling, taking all of these things that have outlived their original purpose and giving them a second life. Okay, discovering your inner genius in terms of maximizing the use of your resources, time, money, energy, skills, information, knowledge. This is what this is about. And we are 8 months into the year right now. So if you have not gotten with the program and started streamlining how this needs to get done in your life and where you're trying to go with this would be a good time to start. There is such a thing as it's too late to start, but now is not that time. Now is just as good a time to start as 8 months ago. So let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right. So a vision board is basically any type of board, right? And on it, we're going to cut out pictures or print pictures and cut them out that symbolize the things that we want to draw into ourselves, okay? So we're going to take those things, we're going to tape them up and put them on. So I just put a bunch of random things on here. This is not my vision board. And mind you, a vision board is a very private and personal thing, so I'm not going to show you mine. I might make up a mock one later just to kind of put it up there as an image, but my vision board, just like yours, is a very private and personal thing. You're not required to share it with anybody. Okay, so this stuff is literally just random stuff I put up just to have a physical thing on the board. Okay, so let's say for my vision board, I want it to be a personal trainer, right? So, I want to see myself moving into the future being a personal trainer, right? So what I may do is I may choose images that symbolize personal training or the type of personal training that I want to do and tape that up on the board, because this is a visual cue of what I'm trying to draw in for myself. Let's say I want to do art, right? So I might put a paintbrush on my board, or maybe I want to do some type of more chart work or more specific chart work. That was a sports gambling thing I was doing, don't ask. I don't condone gambling. So I might put that up on my board, and just little stuff across the board until it fills up. Make it look nice. Have fun with it. Make it pretty for yourself. This is your vision board. And it doesn't have to be images. It can be literally like a scrapbook. It can be little pieces of fabric or buttons or pins or whatever it is that you want to put up there that you can get fastened to the board that won't fall off. That's what you put up there. And then you put your vision board someplace where you can see it. You know, not necessarily first thing in the morning, but certainly whenever it's comfortable for you, and not necessarily in public traffic, you know, if you're more private. And from there, then you're going to examine, how am I going to get there? And that you're going to not cling to this goal of where you're trying to go. You're going to let go and let God. Meditate regularly to keep the stream open. Okay, and you're going to have your daily action plan about what you need to do every day that's going to get you closer and closer to the goal you're trying to get to. Okay, and leave room for changes. Remember, you don't have to hang on to your vision board the way it's done. You can always change your plans, just like you can change your vision board. We don't have to hang on to the past. So that is our eclipse, who are you kidding with us message for today, tomorrow, next week, and the next few months ahead.